Okay, we are here. Legal Help Live. Ralph Saltzman here, Steve Solomon there, and we're here to answer your calls. Call us at 1-800-405-4222 because that's why we showed up today, just to answer your legal questions and chat and have a good time. And hi, Steve.
Hello. Yeah, this is not a car talk show or doctor show or worst job show. Yeah. It's a lawyer kind of show. So if you have a question, anything on your mind dealing with your real problems, alimony, child support, accident case, slip at a market someplace, bankruptcy, are you immigration? How do you get legally into the United States? Can you get a driver's license if you're not legally here in the United States? What happens if you get a traffic ticket? Can you beat speeding tickets, radar tickets, laser tickets, red light camera tickets? You have a problem with your doctor or your lawyer or your dentist, or you've gone and you went to a mechanic's place and you had problems with your car. Who can you complain to? Or you go into a market and you realize that all the scales aren't working properly. What kind of legal problems are there? Is that a class action? It's 1-800-405-4222. I'm Steve. This is Ralph, and we're here to try and help you in some of your problems on a real-time basis.
That's right.
And by the way, we're live and we're local.
That's all true.
I don't know what that means.
That means that...
Is it loco or loco?
Well, it depends on the pronunciation and the spelling. It could be either one at any moment.
And I wore this jacket today for those of you who have motorcycle questions, although this
Yes.
is not a motorcycle jacket. It is a leather jacket.
It's a leather jacket. But could you wear it on a motorcycle?
I guess. And Fluffy's all here ready to go. So
okay, I'm ready. Call us at 1-800-405-4222. In the meantime, all kinds of things are happening.
Yeah, and we're going to try and stay away from all the unfortunate things that are going out there. We're going to try and at least deal with the practical problems. We all know that the world's in turmoil, but there's not much we can do about it.
No.
Other than give money to the various good groups
that
help solve some of the problems out there in the world.
Earthquake prevention is like useless.
Well,
but you can't take precautions. And you know what? I'll tell you, living in Southern California, it's probably a good idea. I know you do. I know that your house is earthquake prepared.
You know, I used to, yeah, and not only bolting the house to the foundation, but how much extra water do you have? How much extra food do you have? How much extra canned goods do you have? What do you do if you don't have a toilet? What about electricity? What about gasoline? Should you keep money in the house? What if the banks, all these kind of things. Now, there are lots of practical help online, and you might take a look at it. Mm-hmm. What about if in your car, do you have an earthquake kit? And things that you can look at to may save you and your family's life. Just remember, be prepared and do it now.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of diligence, a little bit of forethought.
So why don't we go to the calls?
Let's do it. Back to the phones.
John from Los Angeles, California. Why don't you come and join Ralph and Steve on Legal Help Live?
Hey,
John,
guys,
are you out
how
there?
Are you doing?
John.
You're doing a great show, and thanks for taking my call.
Oh, thank you very much for calling.
What part of L.A. are you calling from?
What's that?
What part of Los Angeles are you calling from?
Marina Del Rey.
Ooh. All right.
Oh.
All right. We're ready now.
So
hit us with
here's what happened to me. I was going into a grocery store, and I play golf, by the way. I'm on a college golf team. And I was going into this grocery store, and they have an automatic door that opens out, okay? And it's not the sliding door that opens to the right and to the left, but it opens outwards. So I'm going in, and I see that the door is opening out, and it's about to hit me. So I guess the sensor wasn't working or whatever, but the thing was opening out into my face, and so I stick my hand out to stop it, and I may have done it with some speed. And when I did that, the glass on the door broke. And when it broke, I then, I didn't really feel anything at first, but then I look at my hand and I see that I've got a huge gash in my hand. I mean, it was like sliced open. I'm not going to go into the details, but, it wasn't pleasant. And so as a result, I'm not able to play golf for the rest of the season. And by the way, when I was there,
You still there, John? Well, that's a shame.
Well, we'll get John back on. But, interesting, we can just go off of that set of facts.
Yes.
Here's a fairly, I guess he had a pretty low handicap, I'm not sure. But
well, now he's got another handicap.
Assuming he has a low handicap, which means a low score.
Right.
And he's on the college golf team.
Right.
And he severs his hand, and whether he can play or not is an interesting question, and whether or not they're liable for this situation. What we'll do is when John gets back on, we'll put him back on the air. So let's
John, call us back if you possibly can. If you haven't been permanently disconnected for some reason, call us back because there are a couple of follow-up questions that we want to ask you.
And then we'll try and answer what your question is. So let's go back on the phones and let's talk to Sheila. Sheila.
What is your name?
Sheila, you're talking to Ralph and Steve, and welcome to Legal Help Live.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking my call.
No problem.
What it is I made a living trust.
Okay.
And I made a will. But I have 4 children. They're all adult. And I only want to leave my possessions, 100% of my possessions, to one of my children.
Okay.
And what do I have to do in order to protect her from the rest?
Well, it's an interesting question. The reason why you have a trust is I assume that you've transferred all your assets into your trust. Have you done that? For instance,
I haven't. I have the paperwork, but
if you have a bank account,
I can't give her anything until I die.
No, well, let me just make a suggestion to you. Generally, you've created a trust, but at this point, it doesn't sound like there's anything in it. If you want your property to pass by the virtue
it says so in my will.
Yeah, but the problem is that a trust is different than a will. The reason why you have a trust is to avoid expensive probate costs and fees, and everything passes by virtue of the trust. But that generally requires you to put into the trust your assets. You still have control of it, and assuming it's a revocable trust, you can do anything you want to it. But you have to transfer the deeds of your property or whatever you have into the name of the trust. You have to open up your bank accounts in the name of the trust. If you don't do any of that, then probably most of your assets will then pass by the will. That's why you do a will, if you forgot to put things into the trust.
Well, that's what I have. I already have her down as the beneficiary.
Okay, but I'm...
Well, Sheila, here's the thing. Do you